It's another 4 a.m. start for another scan. I'm surprisingly wide awake because I've not slept all night. I don't know why, probably because the house was about 400 degrees. It's quite unusual in here. It's an older house, so it normally is nice and cool even on the hottest days, but last night it wasn't. So I'm weirdly awake. I'm sure I'll be exhausted later and probably end up not crashing. That's the wrong word before a drive. I will end up struggling a lot. Well, it's already shaping up to be a good day. That's my cup of coffee. I've got my toast in the toaster. It popped up. I went to get the chopping board, realised it was dirty, wanted to wipe it. My coffee cup fell in the thing. The toast board is still dirty. My toast is going cold. I think I might just sit down in a corner and have a meltdown now. Well, since breaking my coffee cup, I've knocked over pretty much everything else I've touched. I've stopped bothering to pick anything up off the floor because it's just going to keep falling down there again. Struggling to get my words out as well, so all my bits of words are getting scrambled together, which is really frustrating when I'm trying to talk. We also gave up on the thought of trying to fly anywhere for the weekend. We're just an hour or two out from being able to make any of the flight times work, which is a real shame. Would have been quite nice to go somewhere sunny, but instead it's I guess just 7 hours of round trips today and then again the same on Monday. So we'll look forward to that. We're well into our journey now. We've just stopped at the service station for a quick toilet break. It's an absolutely beautiful day today. I'm thinking as we're driving past here again in a few more days, I might do a quick review of the service station on the way if anyone's interested in that. And here we go again. And that's us just coming out of the clinic. It's slightly better looking scan than last time, so that's really reassuring. But then we've got to now start the medications tonight. I'll take you through all of those later. A quick trip around TK Maxx. And just time for a quick classy treat before we go home. Right, that's us back again after a really long drive. So as I mentioned before, the scan was looking a little bit better this time than last time round, so feeling a bit more positive about that. We need to start some injections today and then some more tomorrow, so I might just show you how the injections work for real this time, and obviously not the injecting bit. I'm not sure if YouTube would even allow that, and just go from there. Just having some important thoughts as well. First of all, do I need a ring light? Somebody said to me I need a ring light, and I'm not even entirely sure what it is. It sounds a little bit rude, but apparently I need one, so I don't know, do I? Next question. Why do ultrasound scanners have weird little trackball things? I noticed the scanning person today really seemed to be struggling when a mouse or a touchpad or something like that would have been much easier. So does anyone out there know why they've still got rollerballs on the ultrasound machines? And my third, final, really important question, which I was contemplating on the long drive home, I've forgotten. Again, after all that driving, I don't have the energy to cook. I don't know if you remember last time, but we tried to order a pizza after the drive. It wasn't very successful because it was about an hour and a half, I think, wait to get the pizza. But thankfully, I made macaroni cheese for us recently, and I made too much cheese sauce, so we saved the excess and we put it in a jam jar. So I have dinner almost ready to go. Good morning, that's me down by the market again. I was kind of hoping to have a bit of a lie-in today, but that's not really possible because I kind of needed to help Tamsin set up at the market, but mainly needed to give her a hand with the injections. So it's time for that now, so I've just nipped into work cheekily to wash my hands before getting ready to give one of those. And then I'm going to go up to the garden centre and get some more bird seed because the birds go through the seed ever so fast, especially this year when the weather's not been particularly good for bugs and stuff. I wish that they ate slugs. So I'll just show you my little cool bag full of medicine. which I've just grabbed from the car and I'm taking over to the market now. So getting ready to give the injection in the middle of the market. This is our little medical refrigerator bag. All of the medications that we use need to be refrigerated. Just opening it up now. And here's our little kit with various bits of equipment all bundled up again. The ice packs are all underneath so that nothing gets too warm. And this is the medication box. Not sure if I can show the brand name, so I'll probably have to blur that out. And this is what is inside. So you can see that. And then the other side, you can see the injection kit. Now basically what I've got to do is mix those two vials together for the injection. So here we go, opening this particular kit for the first time. I'll just turn that over and take the backing off. And inside here, as you can see, we've got a little bit of water. Well lodged in there is the actual medication itself. That's as a powder. I'm not sure why they're not pre-mixed. I assume it's probably more economically viable to do it that way. The medications tend to last longer when they're packaged as powders and you mix them yourself. Although I imagine that's quite a tricky one to do. And a couple of needles, one for making the medication and one for injecting it. So let's get cracking. I have to say, this is a really strange syringe. I'm guessing it's done like this to make life easier, but it certainly doesn't. I don't like these ones with the complicated and unnecessary valves. Simplicity is generally best when it comes to medical products. But anyway, popping the lid off the drawing up needle and attaching it to this, and having just cleaned the lid, I'm hoping that if I can just inject the medication into there. Thank goodness that that actually works. It would have been a very expensive mistake if it hadn't. Give it a gentle mix. And probably a lot of people will shake these, but it tends to be better to gently mix them, in my experience, for a lot of medications. You can't do it with all of them, but if I mix that until everything is dissolved, I'll be back in a minute. Right, and that's everything all mixed together, so time to just go and draw the stuff up again. And again, that's another relief when it actually draws back. I was a bit worried that all these valves and stuff in the syringe would stop things working as they should do. Just double check in the sunlight that all the medication's in there, and it is. And yeah, that's it all drawn and mixed. So let's swap over to the other pointy needle. This one's a little bit finer. Get rid of the excess air. And then we're ready to give the injection. Right, and this is the injection going in. So just a little pinch of skin, and then very, very gently pop the needle in. They always say at right angles, but Tamsin's quite slim, so I'm not doing it quite at right angles. And then simply inject the medication in very slowly, and hopefully the local anaesthetic cream is doing its job. And pop the needle out. And that's it done. And that's the injection done. On reflection, as I said a couple of times, those syringes are absolutely awful. They've got weird valves in, which didn't actually cause any problem, but are a bit confusing. It makes you wonder whether you're doing the right thing or not. So I definitely prefer just a nice, simple, straightforward syringe, which does exactly the same thing without half as many moving parts. Apart from that, it was quite straightforward. The numbing cream that Tamsin used worked pretty well, so we're quite pleased about that. Sometimes it works better than others. We got that over the counter just from the pharmacy, so that's been a real godsend for quite a stingy injection. Everything's now in the sharps bin, loads and loads of plastic wastage, so I'm going to take everything home, throw out all the waste plastic, and that's us done. And my grand plan to visit the garden centre has been completely thwarted by the local traffic. It's a gorgeous summer day, so I suppose it's not too surprising that there's lots of people visiting, and I'm definitely not complaining because tourists are absolutely the lifeblood of this particular town. That and nursing homes, I suppose. So yeah, it's busy. That's a good thing, but at the same time, it means I'm not going to the garden centre. So I'm off through the Bude Tunnel yet again. On the way to the shops, I'm going to go and buy some milk and some almond milk for Tamsin. And then I think I'll just head home and do very, very important things, like maybe play on the computer or something. Just a quick nip by the no parking at any time, pick up and drop off point only. I'm just in from the shed. I've been making a jewellery stand for Tamsin's stall, something to put necklaces on, which is coming along quite well. I started a bit late, so I finished a bit late, so I'm making dinner a little bit late, and I've got to time it with one of the injections. So a bit of multitasking there, and I'm not very good at multitasking. Anyway, while I've got dinner on the go, I will just show you how to draw up the other medication. Now that's one of the ones in the pre-filled pen device, which makes it quite a lot more simple and straightforward. But here we go. Right, if I can just quickly show you the protocol as we've got it. Really quite tricky to follow. A nice easy table would have been a bit more straightforward, I think. But this is preparing the injection. So this is the pen device. This is a needle. And all that we do is we take that off there, take the bit off the needle, that screws into here as so. Now the next step is to dial the pen device up to 150. There we go. I don't know if you can see that, but that's 150. Now just a little alcohol wipe and then pinch the skin, and that's it, done. So it turns out I don't really have enough hands to try and do the injection and film the injection properly while I'm trying to make the dinner. So sorry, I couldn't really show you that. Maybe another day if we are doing the injection again with someone around. Morning, it's another new day, and that's the first injection of the day given. I didn't think there was any point in videoing it yet again. The principle's exactly the same as yesterday. Hopefully I've given the right one. Our protocol, as I said before, isn't entirely clear. It does have all the information on, but it's written in a way that makes it really difficult to follow. So fingers crossed we're doing the right thing. We're just about to nip off to the supermarket now and get some food and also a bit of birdseed because we've nearly run out of that. I've just messaged work to tell them about my next few appointments. I actually feel really guilty about that. I feel like I keep on having to take time off at short notice. Well, actually, technically I do, so that's the reason for that. But I feel absolutely terrible about it because I know that I keep dropping everyone in it every time I do that. On top of that, I do actually need a holiday quite badly now. All of my time off has just been taken up with the IVF treatment, and I'm feeling pretty exhausted. So yeah, so I've messaged them, and yeah, somebody's going to be dealing with that, and I'll probably end up going in an extra day this week to make up for it, as well as trying to squeeze in the 2 or 3 treatments and an appraisal. So it looks like it's going to be a bit of a tiring week. Tamsin's finding the injections pretty sore, which makes me feel really guilty as I'm the one that's also doing them. So that's another little bit of fun. She's already starting to look a teeny bit bruised, not too badly, but at least a little bit, which also makes me feel quite guilty. And I think the hormones are starting to have a little bit of an effect as well, because she's noticed that she's getting a little bit clumsy with stuff. So maybe that's that as well. Anyway, I'm off to the supermarket now.